Hey guys, this is Cliff Alexander with UTO Training, and welcome back to the UTO Show. What we're going to be talking about today is Camtasia 9, our ongoing series, real quick, and going over a number of different small things. One thing we're going to chit-chat about real quick is how do I add in a voice narration? So say for instance you already went through, you did all this other recording that you can see right in here. This is our audio track, but it's not what you wanted, especially with what we got going on right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on voice narration. Now what you want to do is make sure that this is your microphone hooked in. I've done this a number of times where I'll start recording, then I play it back, and it's being recorded from a different microphone somewhere on my computer system. Either it's a camera mic or it's a microphone that's hooked up somewhere else, but it's not my headset microphone. So you want to make sure of this. And then basically all you want to do is go to the spot you want to start recording, and then we can go ahead and start recording. Like right now, I'm going to go ahead, click right here, and this is where your envelope is for your email, and of course all these other different types of items that will help you out in navigating your everyday looking for a number of different things. Now I'm going to go ahead and click stop there. It's going to ask me if I wanted to go ahead and save it. I'm going to go ahead and just say no. And what it's going to do is it's going to tell you the voice narration will be deleted. You want to continue? I'm going to say yes. And due to the fact that I did stumble there a couple times, you wanted to go ahead and make sure that either A, you have something written down, and that's my highlight of what to tell you. Say I understand that you've done a certain class a number of times, and or a presentation a number of times, and once you start recording, it'll always be with you. You're fine, but trust me, once you start recording, it's a completely different. It's a different type of game where you will start to realize I'm not sure of what I'm really talking about. So that's when I that's where I implore you to go ahead and record or write to re I implore you to go ahead and write down anything, your whole script of what you're going to be doing. Trust me, I don't like it. I don't ad lib that well myself. In fact, you can probably hear I stumble a number of times when I'm speaking because I am ad libbing this class. You can do it if you're familiar with, like I said, you can do it with a course that you're working on, but know that you will be stumbling and you might have to go back and do some editing. And if you want to go ahead and try to do this as quickly as possible without editing, you will, not unless you know it by the back of your hand, you practice this speech almost every day, then more power to you. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and click record real quick here, show you how it's done. And we're starting off with this piece of mail item, and it's going to go down to the Blackboard section right there. Now, it's going to ask you what to name it. Of course, you're going to have to give it a name real quick. I'm just going to call it Test Ad Lib. Now, it's going to bring it into the track, and you can see you got the peaks and valleys. And next week, we're going to be chit-chatting about how to do audio editing.
Many instructional designers and online learning professionals may spend a great deal of time focusing on the visual elements of their deliverables or concentrating on the interactive components that they'll include in each training online module. And indeed, these are important and add value to the overall effectiveness of your online course. However, the top priority for all online teaching is to determine the learning goals beforehand. The learning goals are the core elements of your course, and only after you define them will you be able to provide the best possible online learning environment for the learner. Once you've carefully formulated the learning goals of your course, all the other aspects of your course design and development strategy can fall into place. In this training session, we will discuss how learning goals add value to your online course, how to develop learning goals for your online course, and how to link course goals to course content. Even if you have the latest and greatest online learning software, if you don't have a predetermined goal of what you want to achieve for the learner, it will prevent you from presenting effective learning. Learning goals add value to your online course because they allow you to custom tailor assessments, subject matter, and online learning tools in order to achieve your primary objective. When learners enroll in your course, they are doing so for one very specific reason. They want to acquire a particular skill set or build upon their already existing knowledge base. However, if your deliverable misses the mark and doesn't offer learners those skills or information, then it won't possess any real value to them. You may have spent countless hours fine-tuning each page or each video segment, but it will be all for naught without the presence of learning goals. It is important to understand that goals and objectives are not the same thing. The difference between goals and objectives is that a goal is a description of a destination, and an objective is a measure of the progress that is needed to get to that destination. In this context, learning goals are the long-term outcomes you want to achieve. Learning objectives are the roadmap to get there. Developing focused learning objectives gives you the power to design learning aids that take the learner one step closer to achieving the end goal. They allow you to create an online learning experience that motivates and engages the learner. In addition, the clearly defined learning goals that you've incorporated into your deliverables provide structure and clarity for your course. We will be discussing how to develop course learning objectives in an upcoming session. When you are trying to develop and utilize learning goals effectively, there are a few things that you may want to keep in mind. Having a clear sense of who your audience truly is, their interests, their current skill sets, and their level of experience is key to determining your learning goals. Find out about their current knowledge base, such as whether or not they know the basics of the subject, and have the background preparation for what you plan to present in your course. You need to have an in-depth awareness of what your learners want to get out of the online course. Are they trying to master a specific professional skill? Do they need to learn about the basics of professional research? Is the course part of a group or cadre of courses? Knowing the desired outcome will enable you to create a strategy that encompasses necessary information, tools, and activities. The learners who take your online course should know exactly what they are going to achieve by completing it. So before beginning the development process, create a statement that describes the learning goals concisely, succinctly, and summarily, such as, upon completion of this online course, you will know how to effectively cite sources using APA format. Or, upon completion of this online course, you will be able to describe the leading causes of the American Civil War. Clearly communicating your goals is just as important as developing them. Be as specific as possible and tell your audience precisely what your online course is going to offer them. Aside from stating the learning goals in the online course description and syllabus, you can link goals to your online course by creating exercises and learning materials based upon your pedagogical objectives. Resources and references should tie into the goals themselves or take the learner closer to achieving the goal. Assessments are also essential as they will allow you to gauge whether the learner is actually acquiring the information or skills, or if further action need to be taken in order to reach the desired learning goal. It's important to incorporate periodic recaps into your online course plan or curriculum. For example, after each section completed, you can create a summary or exercise that centers around the learning goals. This motivates the learner as they are consistently reminded of what they will obtain by completing the course and also allows them to more effectively retain the information for future use. In addition, try to omit any irrelevant content from the course, especially if they do not directly serve the learning goals. This extraneous information can lead to cognitive overload and distracts the learner from the core objectives. While you are creating and implementing your online learning strategy, it's important to always keep one eye on the learning goals. Never lose sight of what you want learners to get out of the experience as a whole. Even the most aesthetically pleasing, highly immersive, and well-designed courses simply won't be successful if the primary learning goals aren't achieved. Remember that learning goals assist you in developing your course and show learners what they will achieve once they have completed your online course. In this session, we discussed how learning goals add value to your course by showing students where the course leads, how to develop effective learning goals for your online course, and how to link your course goals to course assignments and activities so your course is aligned properly. For questions about this training session or other training questions, you can reach me at christopher.nigel.lee@asu.edu.